No, it's because you're just like, I don't know. I worry about you, like the amount of time you spend on this app talking. It's worrisome.
I'm just expressing my thoughts.
Right. Are you prepared? Are you prepared though to receive the final revelation?
Wow, that's a good question.
What is that?
It's the tarot. I'm gonna read your four tarot cards.
Go ahead.
Oh, come on. I'm sure when he said the final revelation, we all had something in mind. Like, it was like, this is it, man.
Okay,
But
you are.
go ahead.
You are the star. Repeat after me. All your dreams are coming true.
All my dreams. Good one.
Creativity,
Creativity,
opportunities,
opportunities,
renewal,
renewal,
hope,
hope,
faith.
faith,
Aquarius,
Aquarius,
air,
era,
air,
oh, air,
air. Yes.
Yes.
yes,
Do you have faith in the fulfilling of your dreams?
Yes.
yes,
Disappointment,
But tarot comes from the Bible.
disbelief, faithlessness, and insecurity. Number 17, the star.
I mean, that's why, there's like the lovers, they're supposed to be Adam and Eve, and then you got the devil card, and that's also Adam and Eve. There's literally the words of Torah are on the Wheel of Fortune.
Let your inner voice guide you. Intuition, divine truth, emotional stability. What is your inner voice telling you? Know and understand your deeper values and beliefs. What do you believe about the world?
How are these reading cards? You asking me questions.
yeah, without
What do you want to express?
myself.
Fall in love with your creativity.
Oh, this is, you know what? I want to read it. This is another tarot, bro. I like how myself.
Okay, pick a number 1 through 100.
33.
Okay.
Yo, no freaking way. I swear that was the number I picked.
Okay, this is number 33. A good warrior is not bellicose. A good fighter does not anger. A good clubhouse conqueror does not contest his enemy on stage. One who is good at using others on Clubhouse puts himself below them. This is called integrity without competition. This is called using others. This is called parity with heaven, the pinnacle of the ancients.
Stop it. Stop. You know it. She's sensitive.
Oh, I forgot.
Bro, I love the sound.
I forgot.
I'm going to
Cora
take
was
17.
here. Okay, 17 for the Tao Te Ching. What is firmly established cannot be uprooted. What is tightly embraced cannot slip away. Thus, sacrificial offerings made by sons and grandsons will never end. Cultivated in the person, integrity is true. Cultivated in the family, integrity is ample. Cultivated in the village, integrity lasts long. Cultivated in the state, integrity is abundant. Cultivated everywhere under heaven, integrity is vast. Observe other persons through your own person. Observe other families through your own family. Observe other villages through your own village. Observe other states through your own state. Observe all under heaven through all under heaven. How do I know the nature of all under heaven? Through this.
That was great.
Yeah, I like those little intermissions.
I like the harmonica.
I think John should learn to play the mouth harp.
I've got that. I got it. This little ditty is called Cora is the most beautiful woman I've ever laid eyes on.
Moderator, point of order. Point of order, moderator. Moderator, point of order. Point of order, moderator. Point of order, moderator. Moderator, point of order. Moderator, point of order. Point of order, moderator. Or
Daniel, did you make an AI of me?
I have to see a picture of you.
I
Did you
sent
send
you a picture. Yeah, I sent it.
Let me look. Hold on.
Can you take away my acne? I just moved to Dallas and my acne is really bad now.
Send me one. I'll make one.
What you need is more sunlight
Make one.
and, microdermabrasion, take some hot baths, use a moisturizer, stop with all the alcohol chemicals. The key is sunlight. You got to get about 25 minutes of direct, intense sunlight, right at about 420.
Freeze it. No, well, my skin was really nice because I'm from Albuquerque and it's super dry there. And then I just moved to Dallas and the humidity is like 100%. So my skin is freaking out and I'm producing,
Hold on. Let me just do one. I'll see. Yeah, send me one. I want to make just one. No, I seen it yeah.
Okay. Are you gonna make a funny one? Please make a funny one.
Yeah, I'm gonna make it good. I put you and Daniel in one. Let's see here.
to twin with you guys too. I'm not gonna lie. I feel a little left out.
Is anyone talking?
I talk to the wind, but she doesn't answer.
You know, I think I need to become a vegetarian for like maybe 3 months. Yeah, I'm gonna try this.
Why do you say that?
I don't know, it's just, you need to try it so then you understand it better. And then you take a decision.
That's kind of relatable.
Sorry, become a what?
A vegetarian.
Vegetarian.
Okay, that's very quick. Really good.
But you know, as of now, it's just, what's the arguments? You know, I've seen that it's probably more healthy, but I'm not sure about it. I'll have to see. Like, I'll have to try it for myself and see.
Reducing animal suffering.
Yeah. Yeah, I've seen.
Also, it's like easier on the stomach.
Exactly. But if you become a vegetarian and then you still eat like junk food and stuff like this, it's not good either.
Yeah, look into like an Ayurvedic vegetarian diet. That's really good.
You know what's more important?
I'll put how you spell it in the chat.
What's more important, being a vegetarian or actually having food to eat?
Being a vegetarian.
Well, if you're in a if you're living in a place where you don't have food, you're just gonna take the priority straight up. Like this is why Eid is useful in many ways because you share food, you share a lot of meat with people who usually don't eat them like big portions. So.
Oh my God, Poor Things is going to be on Netflix June 7th, so I'm going to probably spend, the next 3 months just watching Poor Things on repeat. Ugh.
Think about it. You're comparing one day in a year, right? I mean, to like the whole year. See how funny the argument is?
Yeah, well,
It's coming from bias.
it's not.
Understand?
Yeah, I see.
You know
It's
what
not
the
just
Sikhs
like
do?
one day.
The Sikhs supply food every single day.
Yeah, the same thing we do. Usually it's every Friday, right? So every Friday, you should, take food and take it to the mosque. That's how it
The
is,
Sikhs
right?
supply food for humanity, not themselves. Anyone can walk in and take.
That's actually better. It's a better approach. Well, you could say that the Catholic Church does also a great portion when it comes to humanity works, and you could say also a lot of Islamic organizations do as much, right?
Islamic organizations work only for Muslims. Mostly Christian organizations work only for Christians. And Jewish organizations
No, that's not true.
favoritize. Yes, that is very true.
No, that's not true.
It is true.
Maybe
You're
some.
kidding me?
No, so
All of it
maybe.
is to make tribe more powerful, make tribe increase, make tribe prominent.
Yeah, so I would argue Sikhs do the same thing for their own. Like
They don't. They
it's
don't.
actually.
They don't. Why are you believing me? It is
You really.
We should do it for everyone.
So I agree with you. Like I'm saying, there might be organizations that do it for a broader target audience, let's say, but yeah, it's just like that's something to work on. But still, you wouldn't make what they do as something evil when they're helping somebody in their own community. It's also good. It's not.
It's only
bad.
help to the community. That's the problem. That is the problem. The other
You say that all the time. That is the problem.
That is the problem.
And you repeat yourself on this app 1,000 times a week.
That is the problem.
That is the problem.
That is the problem.
Let's be honest. Reading a book here is important.
That is the problem. That is the problem.
Everybody is criticizing Marcus. Like, Marcus, you're getting it. I've heard in every room someone has something to say about you.
Yeah.
What the fuck is going on?
She's a polarizing figure.
She's not polarizing.
Was that Alex turn?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's just jealous because he's not a polarizing figure.
I just want to quote Marcus Aurelius and say, "The spherical form of the soul
Got one.
maintains
Got
its
one.
figure."
Fine.
So when it says that the truth that is in itself, don't you and I have automatic truth?
I want to read his John Kitover's fortune so bad right now. He's really pushing me.
Well, you're the one with acne. Someone's got anxiety.
you tell him? He uses it against you. Alright. Time to move, achieve.
I think Eid al-Adha moves the economy, even the stocks.
Well, Rabbanu Shalom, the hermit,
Moderator, point of order.
the hermit.
I love this one, Angel, but I'll do a little more to see. I think he would be good as a vampire too.
That's so cool. I don't know. Whatever you want to do, vampire, whatever, I'm down with it. It's dope.
Angel, how do you feel about your inner world?
Wow.
Point of order, moderator.
Oh, my point of order.
It's getting better. It was a little chaotic.
Do you believe that all the answers to life lie within you?
Yeah, that's somewhat my.
Hell no.
Hello, Christina, dear. No.
What beliefs keep you in a cage?
My body is a cage.
Thinking there is a cage in the first place.
Right?
How can I celebrate the love in my life?
Give, and you shall receive.
Cry on your pillow every night.
How can you accept your sadness and let it go?
Cry in a pillow every night.
What is waiting for you in your freedom?
A pillow waiting for me to cry in it every night.
Serve you.
What is right in front of you that you might not be able... Ooh, there was a car accident outside. Uh-oh.
Oh shit.
I'll be back.
Okay. What is this room? I'm confused. It's just a guy asking us random questions or something?
We compare ideologies and ideas and have conversations.
I like that.
Ryan was enjoying this. He had some good questions. I'm still trying to figure out the sadness part.
Which sadness part? Which question?
I think he said something like...
Sometimes you gotta be sad, bro. Sometimes you just gotta let it out.
Yeah. Sadness. I don't know. It was a good question. I think the question was like, why should you carry sadness in your life? It resembled something like this. So.
I don't know about why. It's definitely part of life. Right?
Yeah, it is. No, it's like undeniably it exists. It's there. There's a verse in the Quran that answers this question. It's a rhetorical question. Do you think you will achieve paradise? What was the verse again saying? Do you think you will achieve paradise without being tested as the ones before you? So it actually sets the settings, like there's a test, right? So there's a certain test. So you have options: sadness and happiness, suffering and peace, right? So I don't know. So maybe that could be an answer.
Have you ever wondered why, like a necessary being, the ultimate reality, the most powerful that there can be, right, would want to test you? Like, how petty is that? Have you ever thought of it? It's good.
Well, that's because there's a certain context. The context is that in the beginning, it was not like that. but then you set up yourself in a certain position. So that's the context.
Can you elaborate on that?
Yeah, so we're all born, for example, I'm going to take this example. We're all born on this earth free. Oh, I have to do something real quick.
Oh my god, this is like being edged in conversation. 1 minute there's a fucking car accident, now he's gotta leave. What the hell?
Yeah, 3 hot chicks just banged into some guy's car, and now they're all
Okay.
sitting outside the car in their underpants. It's like the most amazing thing I've ever seen.
Wait, what?
There are 3 hot chicks that just crashed a car, and they're all in their underpants. It's a miracle.
Bro, that's your sign. Go ahead. Go help.
It's true. Should I just put on a rubber right now and run out there and be like, I'm ready!
Put on your best outfit.
I'm ready!
Is on the other way, on the other side of the road. And oh yeah.
Oh yeah, all communication is hypnosis, and hypnosis creates amnesia, and so you can't remember what you were talking about.
No, I do remember actually. So we were talking about, I was about to give an example, right? So the parable was this. We are born in this world and we are free, right? Now, some people, for example, they could do something bad. Like they could just go out and whatever, just murder someone. And, you know, eventually he's going to end up in a reality where he's in prison. And boom, he's going to suffer there. So I think that's just a small parable to explain, like, I guess the bigger picture. We're here for a specific reason. There's a context, but it was not like this in the beginning, right? So I think that's what the Quran is saying.
Yeah, nonsense. Can you elaborate on that?
Oh, is it nonsense? We
Answer my
chose.
question. Why do we need a test when we didn't choose the test? We are being tested, as you explained, right? Why are we being tested for what?
Well,
Why?
the verse
Why are we creating something to test its limits?
So the verse was addressing people here on earth, right? So yes, here on earth, you know, we have a lot of tests, but apparently, like from the, I guess from the Quranic lens, when we were in paradise, you know, it was all good, everything was fine, but then you chose to eat a fruit in order to learn evil, and even in order to eat the fruit to know what evil is.
You think this is a literal story?
You had to.
Obviously, you think this is a literal story, right?
No. I'm gonna take it from a literal and a non-literal perspective. I'm gonna take it from all angles. All right. So when we decided, in a sense, to eat the fruit and to know what evil is, we went against the command of God, and that's when, you know, the reality had to change.
I don't know if the fruit is evil. Why are you giving attribute to the fruit?
Because it's knowledge of good and evil, according to according to the Bible. That's the biblical.
You take on the Bible now?
Yeah, why not? Or
yeah, because the Quran is lacking?
No, it's not lacking in any sense. You know,
maybe you can explain it from the Quran itself, right? Keep to one paradigm so that you can stay true to one and then move to another.
This is a room called Comparative Religions. I can bring up insights from all around. So you're the perennialist. You're supposed to even like what I'm doing. But anyways, so yeah, the point was this, right? You learned evil. You went against, you know,
but I also learned
a certain command.
But I also learned good. So should be punished for learning both good and evil.
Good was all you knew, according to the narrative. That's the point. So, in order for you to, like, once someone enters sins, that's when he sees the difference, in a sense. He sees the difference between the two states of, you know, being good, being, you know, whatever.
Yeah, but God knew that Adam would do that, right? It wasn't his knowledge.
Well, you can say this.
It was plotted by God.
No, it's not. It's not a question of plot. It's not a question of plot.
Designed. The whole thing was designed by God. It
Yeah,
had to happen.
reality
It had
is
to be so.
complete. Reality is complete, right? So, but in a sense, we chose we chose that faith for humanity. The Quran says
It was designed for us to choose. The whole thing is known by God, right? Therefore, whether it is in His knowledge or in His act, because He is source, that the whole story was also maneuvered by God.
well, as I said,
Let's just say God is not all knowledgeable.
no. So what I said is God made the heavens and the earth complete already. You choose where you want to go. In a sense, right? This is even why there's this concept in the Quran about as-sabiqun, the ones who are, in advance. They're literally in paradise before others. Now, how does that even apply if the concepts that are described are true, right? There might be people in paradise right now. God knows best. Like, that's the point. I'm trying to say, like, the purgatory and all these concepts, right? What does it mean, someone passing time in hell for whatever X amount of time, and other people not even having to, go through this process at all? So there's so many variables to take in consideration, right? So, yeah, maybe some people are living right now the story of Adam pre the fall. Have you thought about this one?
Like, have you ever once thought in your life, without giving reference from a scripture, right? Any scripture. Have you ever once reasoned out with the power of your own mind?
Of course, I do this all the time. But
So
again,
why do you reference back to something else, which is a metric, right? Your mind is the metric. Just use pure reason, because that also is like open for all, right? Like anyone can. There's someone who doesn't take from
it's
scripture.
because
There's someone
I take in consideration you're aware with the materials. So if you're aware of the materials, what I'm saying is actually it's not something foreign. Like you could relate to it, right?
Mm-hmm.
But how could we I could discuss about these things outside of scripture, but we have to do it once and for all. Like I love to do both. That's how I usually
but I'm also aware that it's just storytelling, right? I don't see it doesn't hold like ontological truth to it. It's so the truth is in its moral.
Okay, if I could do it from this approach, right? So you could have. Wait, there's characters on Clubhouse are starting to sound the same to me. Interesting. Okay, yeah. So, what I'm trying to say is this, right? The goal is to be in a reality that is peaceful, and you could describe it as you want, right? What is the ideal reality for you? Let me ask you this question.
So it's not for me. I don't do for me things. Like I try to. So existence is the.
That's why you don't read books.
Existence itself is the reality, right?
You don't do anything for yourself.
It's the only thing I can say very clearly that exists. Is that things exist.
All your efforts are coming to fruition.
Yeah, again, that's the thing. Like, we could start this talk again about like this, like, as if you position yourself from an atheistic perspective or really skeptic perspective, but like in the back of my mind, I keep along all the discussions we had, previously, and I'm trying to say like, okay, she's consistent with this idea, so I could, say this, or she's consistent with this idea, so now she understands this point. Okay, I'm
Wow.
going to speak about this.
It's a lot
right?
of work.
Wow.
A lot of
It's not
keeping
lot of
track.
work.
The
No,
point is
it's
you don't
just-
need to do that, because when you do that, you're basically acting like an algorithm. And the truth is you're not an algorithm, and this app is a huge waste of time. So, when you compare all the conversations, and then we were to take all the intelligence from all the conversations and compare that to just a couple good books, it's like one millionth of what's in the book. So how do we get around that type of information transfer problem? There's just not enough time to actually transfer all the information through a conference call app. So this app is purely entertainment for our words on a short bus. And I'm driving a short bus to the cliff. And I'm out of the bus. And I'm pushing it over the cliff because I was happier before I heard about this conference call app. And I'm not saying I'm not happier than I was then. I'm just saying that eventually you're going to realize that this app is our word.
Yeah, I mean, you could, like, I think different people look at things like differently. I would say on my end, it's just like there's some insights of the day that might be useful to use in the future, and you could link this up with other ideas you've already
Yeah, it's weird.
took notes
It's the
of,
student
right?
office.
And you could add up something to it, and then so that's how I see this, like, having discussions with people is to test ideas. Yeah.
Why do you direct so much of your effort and attention towards, altering or influencing others and not focus inward?
I do focus inward most of my time, actually. So I would say like 98% of the time I'm alone. I'm literally just working on stuff, I'm doing, alone. Yes, I do work with people, but like, yeah, mostly I'm not interacting with people. So, yeah. Sometimes I even speak and my voice don't come out because I stayed silent for too long, so it depends. What about you?
What about me?
Do you focus more inward or outward?
I don't think there's a difference in my case. So
it's balanced? Half-half?
Well, I just want to quote
I don't
Marcus
see any difference
Aurelius
between me and that which is outside of me.
when Marcus said, "What is thy art? To be good. And how is this accomplished well except by general principles? Some about the nature of the universe, and others about the proper constitution of man?" Hello? Hello?
You're very faint, Joe. I think the underpants girls have hijacked your signal.
Yo, what happened with the accident? Are they still outside?
How do you know it's an accident?
I don't know, he said it.
It's a crash.
Oh, okay, yeah, in French we say accident, so maybe it's the mistranslation. I get
The argument for the natural origins of the Quran does not rest upon crude reductionism or 19th century polemics, but upon the cumulative force of literary, historical, and philosophical evidence. Gabriel Said Reynolds' work demonstrates that the Quran is intelligible. Later Muslim biographies and commentaries about Muhammad. You notice that even scholars who accepted the traditional framework continually admitted profound uncertainty regarding the text's obscure vocabulary, chronology, and references. The implication is devastating. If the classical exegetical tradition truly preserved transparent historical memory of revelation, the Quran should not remain so opaque. Instead, its opacity dissolves when read against earlier Jewish and Christian literature. The Quran behaves not like a self-contained divine monologue, but like a participant in an ongoing interreligious conversation already centuries old. Particularly significant is Reynolds' observation that the Quran operates through allusion rather than exposition. This literary strategy repurposes a culturally literate audience already acquainted with biblical motifs. The text constantly gestures outward toward pre-existing traditions, Adamic lore, Abrahamic legends, Aryan narratives, Syriac Christian homilies, eschatological motifs, and post-biblical Jewish expansions of Scripture. Such development is historically inevitable within the religious oral environment of late antiquity. It is far less explicable under the theory of a perceived transcendent revelation disseminated independently from all prior textual traditions. The Quran's deviations from biblical narratives often mirror precisely the kinds of transformations found in oral preaching, liturgical adaptation, and sectarian storytelling. Reynolds emphasizes that the Quran resembles homiletic discourse more than systematic revelation. This rhetoric is exhortative, elliptical, emotionally charged, and deeply intertextual. The text does not introduce radically new theological architecture. Rather, it reorganizes and reframes existing monotheistic materials into a new agro-religious proclamation. This is a hallmark of religious development, not evidence of supernatural discontinuity. I can go on and on, but I think it's fairly clear that the Quran, as the later biographies or the Syria literature, the prophetic biographies of the Prophet and Hadith corpus, do not reflect the true history of the origins of the Quran. And the Quran makes far more sense when understood in the context of late antique Greek. But it should be obvious to you and me that the fantasy that you have.
I don't have a problem. I don't have a problem with this actually. So because when we're talking about origin, we're gonna give it a different perspective. You're looking at it from the lens of like a historian, which I understand how a historian would think, and that's how they think, right? Corpus or a book that was written in a certain period of time was influenced by the time, right? So, but that's not the claim we make, right? The claim we make is that God, who is all-knowing, he is also interacting with the informations available to man, right? So that includes the biblical scriptures. That includes any other information he deems relevant to transmit. So I don't see a contradiction. That's the point.
The broader scholarly trajectory Reynolds surveys further intensifies the argument. From Geiger to Noldeck Historical scholarship repeatedly discovered that the Quran is inseparable from Jewish and Christian antecedents. While scholars differed over particulars, the influences were Syriac, Jewish, Christian, Nestorian, or otherwise, the central conclusion persisted. The Quran emerged from a matrix of late antique monotheistic tradition. The disagreements concern the channels of transmission, not the existence of transmission itself. In the end, the naturalistic explanation possesses immense explanatory power. It accounts for the Quran's linguistic borrowings.
There's a 40% chance that I'll end up in prison at the end of this.
Structure, its engagement with theological controversies of late antiquity, and its dependence upon audiences already familiar with biblical material. Supernatural origin, by contrast, explains none of these phenomena independently.
Mazel tov!
Reclassifies them as mysterious features of revelation. The historical critical method requires no such
Mazel
metaphysical leap. The Quran appears in Reynolds' analysis not as an isolated heavenly artifact, but as one of the late great scriptural productions of the late antique Near East. Brilliant, rhetorically powerful, religiously transformative, and profoundly human. That's the Quran as I see it. I'm not saying that you should see it that way, but I just wanted to share that's what I think of the Quran, what I think the Quran is. And I think that it's beautiful to, for me, try and be as honest as I can with the text and fast as being who I believe about the text. And I believe that my argument is going to be far superior to yours. I mean,
What's my argument?
that the Quran was revealed to the Prophet Muhammad over a period of 23 years.
Just imagine there's been a car accident.
Some visions.
And we have a squad car here.
Yeah, that's the position I hold. So
Villages through your own village.
the point is this, right?
Serve other states.
Do you
through
think the
your own
Quran
state.
is the result of, how can I say this? The result of interactions with previous scriptures compiled by the hands of men manually into like a corpus? That's your position, right?
Well, my position is that the Quran is a collection of oral transmission, of oral traditions, that were then later put onto paper.
Okay, because let's make a distinction. I also believe this. I believe the Quran, which is primarily a recitation, an oral recitation, was put on paper. But my question is more like, do you think it's the invention of man as, people discussing how we could like compile texts and write them and think about the words, or do you think like you have to expand on your position more precisely?
Someone like you, someone worthy of me. No, Lord, sort things out. Just two evil bastards out here in the wasteland. You do this right. They become me. You are me, already dead. To feel alive, we seek sensation. Any sensation to wash away the cranky black sorrow. And we just for a moment, we have to do it all again. We need more, and each time we ignore until too much is never enough. We are the already dead. We'll take it.
My oral tradition. And then it shows all the features of a book that was transmitted and compiled by men. First of all, what I just know is that the Quran deals with the intersectarian conflicts and controversies of late antiquity. It's just even the argumentation and what the Quran focuses on
People don't like to mention that, but they did catch it, and I'd like to congratulate our military.
But it is a polemic. It is a critique. It addresses the concern of a 7th century religious environment. It doesn't speak broadly of the human experience, but it's perfectly placed within the 7th century on many levels.
So now what's like, okay, you're reading this, so is your main point like that your point is more provable than, let's say, the Islamic position? That's your claim, or what's your claim exactly?
Well, there are many Islamic positions. So like the idea is going to be, it was a critique of your position. So for example, you hold to that the Quran was revealed verbatim to the Prophet.
To the Prophet, yeah.
Right. And
Yeah.
I say
It's tied also, just to make the position clear, it's tied also to eyewitnesses who were present during this time, and they're also documented. So it's not just a theory that emerges, years later. If you know what I'm saying.
No, I don't know. I think the naturalistic explanation is forceful. And as I said, I mean, I don't think that you should be compelled by what I think the Quran is. I just I think that you should be like, I'm just expressing to you the beauty that I think has been in my sort of my investigation. Like, hey, what is the Quran? And so these are the conclusions that I've come to the best of my abilities.
Oh, okay, sure. Yeah. Well, it's a fair position. Like, I'm not gonna. I disagree, but I wouldn't like if your claim is to come to me and say my position is superior than yours. Then I think that would be a good decision, a good conversation, right? But if your goal is simply to say this is my position so far, and you want to highlight certain truth you gathered along the way and you want to share them, well, that's great. I would love to see what findings you have, like, so yeah. But I do think the position I hold is superior.
Is it your opinion that your position is superior, or is it a fact that your position is superior?